sides, good collection of players, but T20's evolved a lot since then. And
MIDDLESEX against Kent in the
sides, good collection of players, but T20's evolved a lot since then. And sides, good collection of players, but T20's evolved a lot since then. And you look down that list now, and all the way through it had the feeling that this was going to be the strongest side that Middlesex had fielded in T20 cricket. So far, 3 wins and a defeat, and it's a top of the table clash against Kent. So even with Sterling, Milan, Eskenazi, De Villiers, Morgan, Simpson, that's strong.
back for 2 is that Majid doing the fielding there. A deep third man coming around to a backward point. No aggressive shots really, but they do come back for a fairly comfortable 2, 3 for none.
Yeah, so you know, that 165 target that Middlesex had, it was that was the De Villiers debut, 88 not out, and he set this place alight. He really did. Packed house it was then. They're expecting packed house again tonight. Still a few seats empty at the moment, but set to be all in.
Coach Matt Walker called Mohammed Nabi box office. What does that make AB De Villiers? This one's dropped into the offside. Quick run by Crawley. Very close indeed. A shy at the stumps there from mid-off. And diving by AB himself.
That was pretty spectacular from him there in the field, wasn't it?
Not bad for a 34-year-old back.
Yeah.
Over the ground really quickly and under basically a scrum half's throw.
Oh, he hasn't hurt his hand again, has he? He's missed a couple of games with that finger injury. He's just put both, bringing his hands out.
He's got tape on both hands, but I suppose he's well into his career now. It's not much of a surprise. Is it the left hand?
I think it was the left hand, yeah.
Swinging it a little bit. Helm then. Fast medium bowling to Daniel Bell-Drummond. Gets big on him actually. Just turns this square of the wicket on the onside off the thigh pad. And that will be a single. Yeah, there's no pad involved there. And Kent move on to 5 for none. 1 more to come on this first over Middlesex against Kent. T20 Blast South Group. 2 plays 1, 1 plays 2, whichever way you want to look at it. But these two are topping the table. Hasn't always been thus for either side.
Well, again, Middlesex beating Kent in that final in 2008, but since then they've really been the basement boys. Yeah, sorry. But, well, you know, there's the payback. They've been the basement boys ever since. They got out of the group once since then, quarter-final, but that was it.
With the last 8 last year, Helm to get a full-length delivery, and Crawley caresses this into through mid-wicket, but it's not a shot of any great aggression. It will just be 2, then a counter for mid-wicket, and that is the end of the first over. 7 for none there. No real aggression for Kent in the first over. I think it's fair to say that that's the way that Denley and Bell-Drummond have done their work over the last couple of seasons. They've had big opening stands, but don't necessarily go hell for leather in the power play. So I don't suppose Kent fans need to be too worried about that at this stage. They may have a sighter for a couple of overs. But this, talk about the Middlesex batting lineup. Plenty of bowling there as well for them. And Southra, I mentioned Majid, who's been the most economical, I think, of the Middlesex bowlers in this series. So.
Yeah, I mean, he's exciting, isn't he, Majid? Southra was the leading wicket-taker in the One Day Cup, and as a spin partnership, well, not even a partnership, because Majid's in the power play as he is now, but, you know, as a pairing to have throughout the competition for Middlesex, it is exciting. And, you know, Stuart Law really wanted somebody like Majid, and that, you know, the 3-seam attack of Finn, so much experience in white ball cricket. Helm, so much expected of him at international level when he does get a call at some point. And Roland Jones, who's been there as well. So here's Majid. He's in now, right arm over and down the leg side. It'll be a wide first ball, although Simpson's got up for the stumping. Nothing doing.
Did clip the pad there. The umpire's not doing...
Did he not give the wide? No, he didn't.
Give the wide, no.
So yeah, maybe just the tickle.
The camera's focusing on the umpire.
Umpire Gould, as this ball's full and riskily played into the onside by Bell-Drummond off the cheap, footed at mid-wicket, no run.
Umpire Gould and Mills out there. There won't be any nonsense from players then, will there? I mean.
No. G bowls a tickle to mid-wicket once more from Bell-Drummond. And a solid start for Majid here. the pitch nearly below the away dressing room, isn't it, away to our right-hand side. The World Cup pitch has got the matting on it to its left. As this one again towards leg stump and tickled around the corner by Drummond on this occasion, so he gets the single fine of the square leg umpire, and short fine leg comes around. 8 without loss. Drummond moves to 3 from 7. Crawley 5 from 3.
So off spinner Majib, does he have the one that goes the other way as well?
Yeah. That's the mystery for him, isn't it? And,
well, yeah.
Yeah, he's a danger man.
Especially in T20.
He steps in. Balls, and this one's down the leg side, and that is a wide signal. A quicker ball by Majib. And 9 for no wicket for this. 2 balls to go, the second over.
Umpire Gould's not catching up from the earlier balls, he? No, that is just saying.
Majib bowls, and forward goes Crawley. Dabs into the onside, and there's no run. Mid-wicket collects. So long on, a deep square, the 2 back. Slip in place, there's a shortish mid-wicket. A short extra cover. And here's Majib with a quick one, darted down the leg side once more. Pops out of the gloves of Simpson, and a wide signals once more from umpire Gould.
Almost like a medium pacer, that, wasn't it? All arm, that.
Yeah.
Like you say, wide again down the leg side.
Captain Darvin Milan. The man crouching down at slip. Majib is in, bowls, and right back and behind this one. Crawley is beaten indeed. I thought he had defended it, but I've just seen it over your shoulder there, Matt, on the big screen, and that was the one that went the other way, and a smile on the face of Crawley as he was done by Majib there. 5 for him, 3 for Drummond, 10 without loss. Kent.
What a first over that is, notwithstanding the extras. It matters if you can keep them down 2 over 3 off the over. Fabulous start by Majib there. Australia 275, 257, I say, for 9 in the test match at Edgbaston. But yeah, so there's going to be a change of bowling. There is indeed. So third new bowler, same to Kevin before we started. Kent have bowled 4 different bowlers in the first 4 overs for their first 4 games, and it's worked out well for them so far. Toby Rowland-Jones, fresh from a 5-for against Glamorgan. His best ever figures in T20 cricket, now bowling to Daniel Drummond, who has 3 from 7 at the moment. Ken 10 for none of the 2 overs so far. That was a little bit outside edgy, that one. They ended up a point. Good throw at the non-striker's end, but it'll be a dot ball in the end. We're very comfortable with that, Daniel Drummond. He doesn't look he's quite at the pace of the pitch as yet.
Yeah, you mentioned the one in the first over that just looked as though it got big on him from Helm, and it was a good description of it because he rather swatted it away off the hip. And of course the World Cup final wicket came in for a lot of criticism for being a low scorer throughout the game until we got that thrilling finish. And likewise, it played that same way for the Kent match, for the Essex match.
Rowland-Jones up the slope from the nursery end. This one's clubbed, if anything, along the ground. It's a low pull by Daniel Drummond. Still hasn't timed that, and they reached the boundary south of fields at mid-wicket. It's very much the shortest boundary. The pitch, as Kev said, well over to the right. As we look from the nursery end to the right-hand side of the pavilion, or left as they look from the pavilion, I suppose. I don't know why I'm treading myself in knots there, but the offside boundary, as Zach Crawley looks at it, is particularly big through long on or extra cover. Sorry, long on for extra cover. He goes on the short side though, doesn't time that particularly well. Hoists it over mid-wicket, and there'll be 2 for him there, and still yet to score a boundary, Ken. Just not really timing the ball on the surface as yet. One of it's a little bit sticky, but 2 runs for Crawley. He's 7 from 6. Drummond 4 from 9. 13 for none. Kent in the third over.
Yeah, slightly ironic cheer from the crowd there, wasn't there? For that attempt to go over the top from Kent, but you know, Middlesex winning the toss and elected to bowl. They obviously fancied, let's see what you set on this pitch.
Start this one. Rowland-Jones, that one is hoisted. That will be 6 runs for Zach Crawley, and that's big. That's hit the roof of the stand. Well, goodness me, it's the short side, but he got some elevation on that. Did the tall opener from Kent. 6 runs. Not ironic applause this time. 19 for none. First boundary of the game.
Yeah, so certainly a way to register the first boundaries, and it didn't quite hit the spot there, Rowland-Jones, did he? A pick-up shot from Crawley. It was a brilliant shot, taking nothing away from it whatsoever.
6 on the onside. This is Rowland-Jones once more to Crawley, and that's hoisted as well, but that'll be over long on. That'll be 4 runs for Crawley. Standing and delivering over the man at mid-on. Lovely shot as when he tried the ball before the 6, but this time did connect did time it over Helm's head, and that'll go for 4 through.
And it brings out the slip. Milan moves to mid-wicket. Yeah, he went length on that occasion, looking to hit top of middle and off. And sweet pick up once more from Crawley, that time swinging hard at the length delivery. That's the last that mid-on to be on his toes, right on the edge of the circle now.
Roland Jones once more then for Middlesex. His pink shirt bowls to Crawley, and that is lifted. It's just jabbed past him. 6 runs straight back over the bowler's head. Beautifully done. And that just sets almost like the block for 6, that one, uppercutting it over the bowler's head. And I thought he was going to bounce, but no. Trajectory takes it all over for 6. What an over that was for young Zach Crawley. And Kent fly on to 29 for none. They're 19 off that first Roland Jones over.
Yeah, wow. Do that to Roland Jones, eh? England white ball and red ball cricketer. And in good form coming into the Blast after a 19-wicket haul in the final 2 championship games before the Blast began. Here's Mujeeb quickly starting the 4th over of the innings, and a single is tickled by Beltram and down to deep backward square leg. He moves to 5, 30 without loss in the 4th. Yeah, and Lords, and it's nearly full now, isn't it? Just about. You can still see people coming in through the arteries of the ground as Mujeeb bowls, and this is down the leg side, short fine leg fields, underarm throw back to the keeper, and Crawley has a comfortable single. He moves to 24, 31 without loss. But the atmosphere for that Essex match here a couple of weeks ago was electric, especially when De Villiers got going. Jeeves in, bowls, and that's dragged away into the onside by Beltram for a single. He moves to 6 and 32 without loss of score. The atmosphere hasn't quite got going tonight, but then we haven't had the first Sweet Caroline of the evening, have we?
By now customary.
Yeah. Mujeeb bowls, quicker one, forward defence from Crawley. Push back up the track. Applause from the skipper Milan. And Mujeeb have just 6 runs off 10 balls so far. They had to take that gamble against Roland Jones, and it came off for Kent as Mujeeb bowls, quicker one down the leg side, wide will be signal once more. Bowling with the slope here, of course, the off spinner, so darting ones down the slope like that, they're only going one way past the legs of the batsman, even if it is the wrong one. He's in the game now, bowls middle and off, and it's pushed defensively off the front foot by Crawley to mid-wicket, and there's no run. 33 for no wicket in the 4th. A cloudy evening now, the sun's got in. It sets behind the grandstand. Mujeeb darts another quicker one in, almost medium pace of stuff again, and turn off the hip down to long leg for 2 by Crawley. He moves to 26, 35 without loss as Souter comes around from deep backward square to field, and that's the end of the 4th. So Beltram 6 will have strike, and Crawley 26, 35 for no wicket, and solid enough now. That over against Roland Jones has really given the platform in the next 2 to be there or thereabouts for that 50-60 score at the end of the power play.
Yeah, it's like Mujeeb's bowling very much for economy there, isn't he? Slanting the ball into the pads. You understand that as well. He has the best economy rate for Middlesex in the T20 Blast so far. It's certainly working for him. Obviously, economy equals pressure equals wickets normally. Helm returns to place Roland Jones, who went for 19 off his last over. Zach Crawley has 26 off 13 though, with 1-4 and 2 sixes. Beltram is moving slowly, 6 from 11 for him so far, and he drives it into the offside. Not sure he's quite timed that, but it might be 4. No, Souter is herring after it. Will he catch it? Not quite. Again, it comes down the slope, and that's really moving. I beg your pardon, that's David De Villiers. I still recognise it by now. Blue shoes though, got me confused. But yes, I think Beltram again particularly timed it. A lot of force through the offside there, but really was speeding it down the slope, and that will be 4 runs to him, 39 for none. Got 40 odd in Kent's win against Essex, but otherwise has really struggled for runs. And there's one man you can usually rely on for T20 runs. Again, it's Daniel Beltram, who's chipping in this season so far. Long way to go though, 14 games each team. Helm to Beltram, steps across his crease, just flicks that up, and it's aerial for a while, it's a square leg, but gets away with it. That's gets a single, just beatled in from the boundary. 40 for none, Beltram 11.
Evening on Twitter, so Valerie Selby, Peter Mead, Simon Whiteside, Derek and Dean. Good to have you all with us, at Kevin Ham BBC or at BBC Kent Sports.
Indeed, we do. Kester's already got in touch on kentcricket@gmail.com. Email seems to prove a little bit too long for us, Drew, but Kester's always in touch, and it's great to hear.
Save it for the interval. Get your emails in for the interval.
We'll have time for chat then. Short ball from Helm, smashed away by Crawley, pulled through mid-wicket, almost contemptuously. Short boundary though it is as well. He's got 4 more. Zach Crawley has certainly come to the party this evening, and that's his second for 3 sixes.
Well, 2 highly regarded young openers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Drummond and Crawley. Middlesex need a breakthrough here. That solid start by Helm and Mujib. Their last 2 overs at the nursery end now proving a different kettle of fish altogether. So Helm could really do with the breakthrough. He's a fine white ball bowler. Good mix-up of pace.
Helm bowls, Ken 44 for now, makes himself room. Crawley lifts it to Eddie de Villiers, he makes no mistake there. Mid-off, he made himself room, Crawley, and has just chipped it to mid-off, and he actually signals to the dressing room, perhaps just apologising for the shot. But he done so well, had a 30 off 14. He's been found out there, making himself room. Good line of length from Helm. Maybe de Villiers making no mistake at mid-off by catching it knee height. The Spitfires 44 for 1 here at Middlesex in the 5th over.
And Helm delivers. Line and length, top and middle, and yeah, giving himself room, chips it up, and very cool from de Villiers, shuffling around to take the catch. Really excellent effort from him, and you just can't keep him out of the action, can you? What will he be like with the bat tonight? He got a bit of a shocker in the Surrey game, where he got an inside edge onto an LBW, so while they're hoping the home crowd, the de Villiers can have them all on their feet again tonight, because it really was some stupendous hitting. Boundaries in slightly as well this evening. That checked 6 by Crawley down the ground, just noted that one for me.
Just update BBC London listeners. BBC London, BBC Radio Kent, BBC Radio Kent on DAB. On this line I'll be updating Kent listeners with latest from this and a bit on sport as well in a couple of minutes' time. At the moment, Helms continue. And it is Ollie Robinson to come in at 3. For later, Mohammed Nabi, 43 off 12 against Surrey. An absolute firework of a batsman. Turned into the onside by Robinson. Batsman who's scored 200s in the century. It's 200 in the century in the Championship Division 1 this season. His first full season for Kent, and a 50 on his T20 debut as well. As they beat Somerset, gets off the mark there with a single. Doesn't seem to be fazed by any of it. Very impressive from a Kent point of view. Well, the questions with Kent going to the top division of County Championship cricket, whether they would have enough to survive, whether the likes of Robinson and their opening bowlers, former Middlesex bowler Harry Podmore and Matt Milnes, former of Nottinghamshire, will be good enough. Drummond now facing Helm, tries to cut that away through third man. It goes straight through to wicketkeeper Simpson. And is that the end of the over? It is 45 for 1 then. So 10 off the over, but also the wicket of Zach Crawley. And here on BBC London, BBC Radio Kent, the first 5 overs gone then of this T20 Blast contest between Middlesex in second place in the South Group and Kent, who were top. The position will be reversed on net run rate. Their first defeat on the cricket to come, but Owen Morgan and AB de Villiers in the Middlesex side. It really is an impressive looking batting lineup for Middlesex, but now it's bowling instead. Continue. Ball's turned around the corner by Robinson against the spin for a single, 6 for 1. 14 so far. Hasn't really got going. Mujib turn goes to the sweep. Is he out LBW? No, he's not. Not far off. Umpire Gould says no. Exactly how Drummond was out against Imran Tahir at Surrey on Tuesday. Didn't cost them in the end. I don't know if captaincy is weighing heavily upon Drummond's mind, but he's won 4 out of 4. He's gone for the sweep again, gets a bottom edge there. Mujib head in hands as he goes for 4. Very fine. And Drummond goes to 15, and they bring up the 50 for 1 Kent in the 6th over. So instead, Mujib with his head in his hands there. Not too impressed by that. bottom edge reaches the boundary. Simpson. Helm's gone to retrieve that. Gina, that's the first boundary off his bowling. Beldrama rocks back into his crease, a little punch into the offside, but it's not going to pierce the field on that occasion. Pretty gentle, 51. That's the one they are. Beldrama has 11, Robinson 2 so far. Calling the man to go 30, caught by de Villiers. Bowling for Helm. Slightly forced to it. None for 15 on 2.5 overs so far, just adjusting his field. A bit of a leg trap there, fine leg, and backwards square. He goes to the sweep again, gets another bottom edge, I think, or has he just come off the pad? No, it's another bottom edge. This time he just goes for a single. Helm clears up. Umpire looks like he's going to signal him.
He's teasing him, man. He's teasing him, isn't he?
And then points to his watch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that is.
I don't know, was he checking with his colleague? Was he holding out a particular finger? 1, 2 balls to come at the over?
Quite possibly. Majib then, he has 2 to come, says the scoreboard. A bit shorter this time, and Robinson tries to cash in with the sweep, but again it's fielded at fine leg, and there's no run. Helm with the fielding. 1 ball's come then. Majib is being mean as usual. 1 ball short of 3 overs, none for 16, and Robinson goes to carve him through the offside. Just finds the fielder there. Is that Paul Sterling? Looks like him. I think that'll be the end of the over. 52 for 1. 6 gone, so yeah, power play 52 for 1. Not a bad result for Kent, I would have said, the way they started. They've lost Crawley already. It looks like these two are not timing the ball terribly well at the moment. Beldrama 12 from 17, Robinson 2 from 4.
You mentioned Majib's economy, and he is the most economical. Highest average, though, of the Middlesex bowlers. Roland Jones 11 wickets at an average of 10. Tom Helm with 9 wickets, average of 14. Sousa 6 wickets, average of 20, and Finn 5 wickets, average of 25. Majib just 2 wickets, the average of 46. But his economy off his 16 overs coming into this one, just 93 runs. That in comparison to the other 4 mentioned off their 16-ish overs, they're all there or thereabouts. A spread between 116 and 129. As here is Stephen Finn. His first over of the night here at Lord's. He's right arm over from the nursery end, and he bowls now to Beldrama, who slaps off the back foot down to mid-on, opening up the body. No run, he's on 12, 52 for 1, Robinson 2. Just having a chat with our old mate David Townsend on the way in today, yeah. One of the third voices for BBC Sport now on the commentaries, long-time cricket writer, and Australia deep in the collapse, 121 for 8, I think, at that point we're on the phone. Batsman just can't bat anymore, is what we were saying. As his Finn bowls short, and that's hit up in the air. Could, should, isn't going to be the end of Beldrama. It goes over the mid-off fielder, Eskenazi backtracking at first. He then turns to run towards the boundary and out of reach for him. So Beldrama gets away with that one. He moves to 14, 54 for 1. And as you see Beldrama, open up that last shot, open up the body to just drag the ball down to mid-on, go underneath that one, trying to go over the top of mid-off. Yeah, it does make you look at the amount of white ball cricket that we play now, the amount of practicing that the batsmen put in for this. Do they get enough time to prepare in the same way for red ball cricket? Smith has fought back for Australia today, as here is Finn bowls, and that's hit back down the ground off the back foot again, backing away outside leg stump to punch off the back foot. Beldrama's trying to orchestrate himself in the crease and organise some sort of scoring shot. He moves to 15 from 20, 55 for 1, just outside of what was a solid power play for Kent. I think they'd have been happy with that.
The man at the time when the ball was gone, Crawley, and said they are struggling a little bit to get the runs going now. Finn
past the umpire bowls. This runs a backward point by Robinson, and there is no run. 2 from 5 for him. Yeah, those first couple of overs were a bit ominous, weren't they, for Kent? But then they opened up in the third over to Roland Jones with Crawley. But we saw this in the Kent game as well, after a sticky start, that they really got going. And got up to, did I say the Kent game? Sorry, the Essex game. 164. Tender Scarter going well. It does nowadays. The possibilities for batsmen, just takes one batsman to really get going. As Finn is in, bowls full, it's clipped in the air and in between mid-wicket and mid-on. Might just make the boundary. Mid-on with the chase, the slide, and it's Peter Milan, the captain, sliding to very nearly meet the Compton, just where it nudges into the grandstand. And 4 it is. Robinson moves to 6 from 6, 59 for 1 with 1 to come with the 7th, Kent.
In the end, it was a lot safer than it looked, I think, that one, wasn't it? The trajectory was perhaps faultless from here, but
He placed it
between
well.
the two fielders, yeah.
Change of field. As a result, mid-wicket is dropping back. And, well, mid-off and mid-on are up. So again, you don't expect this to be in Robinson's half as Finn comes in. And, well, it is quite full. It's just full of a length. And quickly bowled up towards middle and leg stumps to try and tuck him up, and it's eased away into the offside by Robinson. 59 for 1, Bell Drummond 15, he'll have strike, Robinson 6, that's the end of the 7th.
Yeah, the two having a bit of a conference in the middle. Bell Drummond has not been at his fluid best, certainly in the T20 so far, but he's captaining the side. I don't know if that makes any difference. He's actually been getting better as the season goes on. The One Day Cup and the Championship start terribly well, but he's starting to hit form now. Under his name as well in the Championship Division 1, but Robinson out of the two of them, certainly, you wouldn't have expected it. 20 years old, coming to the team for the first full season. Has been the most eye-catching batsman for Kent so far. Notwithstanding Joe Denley coming back from the international scene. But it will be Nathan Souter, I think it will be, from the pavilion end now. Those on the, well, it's just a cam, isn't it? They've picked out a group of supporters that they like the look of over the camera here. And unless that's somebody famous, it could well be.
No idea.
My grasp of popular culture.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very, very loose indeed.
My subscription to Cosmopolitan ran out a few years ago.
Indeed. So it's going to be Souter then. Aussie spinner from the pavilion end will bowl to Daniel Bell Drummond now down the leg side. An attempted stumping is rather hopeful. It'll be a wide, certainly.
Well,
Umpire Gould took a wide.
There you go. Yeah, he's thinking about it. Souter's only just finished appealing, really. So he was fancying. There was a little tickle on that down the leg side to Simpson, who also whipped off the bails. But yeah, wide given.
3 or 4 outcomes possible. The most obvious looking one was the wide, but you never quite know with the speed of wicketkeepers these days. 60 for 1, Kent. 15 for Bell Drummond, 6 for Robinson in the 7th over. That's clipped off the pads, Bell Drummond, all the way along the ground towards the boundary, but they're just going to single there. Actually nicely timed that, but picked out the fielder as well, which isn't exactly the idea of the batsman. So, and there's a single run there. Owen Morgan, the World Cup winning captain, at mid-wicket there, the long side of the ground where this pitch is. Dropped into the offside by Robinson. Take a very quick single there. Throw comes in from Roland Jones, but won't stop Bell Drummond coming through from the non-striker's end. He's on to, I should say, Robinson's on 7. Bell Drummond's on 16 right now. 62 for 1. Well, it's a lovely sweep from Bell Drummond. He's timed that one, and I think that's about the first one he's timed to the boundary. That'll be 4 runs for Bell Drummond. Got his eye in on that one, sweeping away. 66 for 1. He moves on to 20. Robinson has 7. We are in the 8th over.
Yep, nice shot, manufacturing the shot, Bell Drummond. South has something to think about, bowling against the slope, the leg spinner, bowling from the pavilion ends, but defending that bigger boundary towards Old Father Time.
Updating our BBC radio again, this is very shortly on this line. It's swung into mid-wicket by Bell Drummond. Low down, wide open spaces there, so plenty of time to come through for the 2. 68 for 1, that update coming right now. Kent 68 for 1, batting first here at Lords. They top the South Group table, 4 wins out of 4 so far, and they've started okay as well, particularly Zach Crawley. He's the only man out so far. 30 he got, the 2 4s, 2 mighty 6s. The boys dismissed by Tom Helm at 4:30. The not-out batsman Daniel Bell Drummond has 23 from 24 balls, the captain, and Robinson has 7 from 8. Ollie Robinson, the batting now, cuts that away. They won't get a run there off the spinner Souter. I should mention the Middlesex have South African superstar A.B. de Villiers in their side, and the World Cup winning captain Owen Morgan on his first game since lifting the trophy here on his home ground. A 28,000 sellout at Lords. Commentary continuing on DAB and online. Elsewhere in the Test match, England have bowled out Australia for 284. Captain Steve Smith for Australia scoring 144 of those. He was out at last. Joe Denley from Kent in that side. Had a couple of overs bowling. Didn't take a wicket. Jimmy Anderson pulls up after 4 overs, the England bowler, with a calf injury. Elsewhere in football, Gillingham defender Gabriel Zakuani is likely to miss the first 6 to 8 weeks of the League One season with an injury of his own. Arsenal have signed Ivory Coast winger Nicolas Pepe from Lille for a club record of £72 million. That's the cricket and the rest of the sport. On to weather now with Sarah Fulton. Not Not for your DAB listeners, though.
Here comes Finn, he bowls and he dabs into the onside by Bell Drummond, and mid-on comes up to collect as they take a single. Bell Drummond moves to 24, 70 for 1 as we begin the ninth, and Robinson is on 7.
Yes, we've got you DAB listeners, we're holding you.
We're holding on to you, we're not letting go.
I hope not against you, Will. Dominic King's fine programme is continuing on FM and Listen Live. But
and all around the world, wherever you are, on tablet, mobile, laptop, PC.
Yeah, fillings in your teeth, probably. I'm not sure.
That's a thought, isn't it? Us two ringing in your ear, it's a bit of a filling in your teeth. Finney bowls, that goes up in the air. This could be the end of Robinson, and is. Deep square holds on to the catch. Robinson's gone for 7, 70 for 2, and Roland Jones with a cool catch in the end. It went a long, long way up, and with a slightly shorter boundary, probably only 50 or so yards towards the grandstand. You wondered whether it might just go on over that boundary rope and have the fielder backtrack him, but as it is indeed, the wind is coming from over the grandstands. So as it swirled up there, it was probably hanging within play. If that wind had been the other way, he might just have got away with that and gone over the boundary rope, but he was nicely placed, Roland Jones, and hangs on comfortably. So 70 for 2, and Finn strikes, and again, timely for Middlesex. I think they just needed another one there.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think just a hint that these two are starting to get on with it, particularly Bell Drummond perhaps at the other end, but it does bring Mohamed Nabi to the crease. Got two Afghanistani cricketers, two Afghan cricketers on the field now, with Mujib, of course, the Middlesex spinner as well. It just shows what you can do if you grow the game in. Mind he pointed out saying it was Mohamed Nabi who was coming on, because he also wears blue boots.
Oh, I see, sorry.
But he does not have the orange straps on his pads, which we couldn't see as Kim came out. So I do apologise.
No.
It is the South African Heineken.
I didn't.
But it's like cricket South African quite well.
Yeah. I didn't even realise I was picking you up on it. I just went off the scoreboard and read.
No, you're just right, that's all it is.
They almost look like they're, I mean, the luminous orange straps on the back of his pads, they almost look as though they're an electrical neon orange, so that bright. As here goes Finn, going into the man who looks like he's something out of Blade Runner. It's turned into the onside through square leg for a single. Anokun is off the mark.
He is a very stylish man.
Is he?
I know, he really is, yeah.
Would he have fitted in on the set of Blade Runner, would he? They were quite sleek and stylish, weren't they?
Yeah, I can see. He would have a very, very sharp suit, whatever era you'll be talking about.
Yes.
Even in the future.
They did have an update, didn't they? Blade Runner 2049 or something.
I watch it.
I like that. Yeah, it wasn't as good as the first one, but it was good.
I was a bit, that's why I was worried about. You can spoil it for me. Right, to be grumpy.
No, I don't think so.
Decent.
No, it's a nice addition, but it's no comparison.
Thank you. Great film reviews.
Finn is in, bowls to Bell Drummond, and it's hit in the air, and he's caught at mid-off. Stephen Eskenazi with the catch, comfortable one, right into his mid-drift, and 2 in 3 indeed for Finn. There was a single in between, so 72 for 2 in his 9th over from Finn. He has 2 for 10 now with 1 ball to come of it, and well, what was a timely wicket at the start of the over for Middlesex is an ill-wanted one really for Kent towards the end of it. So both openers gone and the number 3, and as good as 2 new batsmen at the crease, with Heineken only having faced just the 1 delivery so far. But we're expecting this one to be Mohamed Nabi.
Yes, indeed.
So these are the big 2 now, aren't they, in the middle order? Although Blake, of course, and as Middlesex well know, Stewart as well, can hit the ball a long way.
Yeah, I mean, Mohamed Nabi, you might want him a little bit further out, perhaps I think Blake's ideal time to come in is probably 7 or 8 overs to go, give him absolute freedom to swing through the ball, not have to worry about knurling it around at all. Nabi, as we've seen, is a very destructive batsman. It's 43 off 12 against Surrey to win that game. They won it with 3 overs to spare. It was a 7-over-side game, which is quite something, if you think in relative terms.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, he is quite something when he gets going, but he has to get going. Obviously, we've seen one innings of his against Essex where he wandered down the pitch and was stumped first ball. So, pays the money, he takes a choice. But he looks like real quality.
Right, so Nabi on strike as Finn sets off 1 slip crash down 2 in the over already. Here's the last ball of it, and it's clipped off his hip down to a long leg for a single, and Nabby is off the mark. So 1 from 1 for Nabby, 1 for 1 for Kuhn, and 73 for 3 after 9 Kent having been put in by Middlesex here at Lords in the Blast.
Yeah, so stuttering in mid-innings, that'd be great for Middlesex as well. Slows down the momentum. You've got 2 great ball strikers for Kent at the crease, but they're going to have to start again. As you're saying, Kev, 2 new batsmen, 1 from 1 each man at the moment. They've got a bit of time, just through 9 overs now, but have to make it count as well. What will they need to set Middlesex here? I mean, Kent's bowling attack, they've pretty much backed themselves to defend most totals, but we haven't met A.B. de Villiers, or Spitfires have met A.B. de Villiers or Owen Morgan on their travels yet, so we'll see. South of the leg spinner then, that one's down the leg side again, and be another wide.
I mean, I don't think Middlesex will be too worried of chasing, 180 here, having chased 165 pretty comfortably last time here at Lords.
South once again to Nabby, leans on this one into the onside and takes a comfortable jog through for a run. He's not one for the quick single, Mohammed Nabby. He prefers to stay at the crease and admire stuff going over the boundary, I think, is his MO. Heiner Kuhn, on the other hand, is very fast.
Is it a recipe for disaster then? Sparing. Sure.
I'll leave that to you. He certainly has said always pushes the envelope, this Heiner Kuhn, when he's running. The Souter to bowl then. Number 12 of his 1.1 so far. Oh, this just loops up. That leading edge just sort of popped up from the forward defence from Kuhn.
That's the one thing really on the pitch so far, that we've seen a couple pop on the batsmen, spinners and seamers.
So, this is Souter to Kuhn, trying to make himself room to drive it through the offside, finds the man at extra cover. So Roland Jones, I think, there's no run.
That'll be the big consideration for Middlesex in their chase.
Comes down the pitch this time, does Kuhn, and just drives it up to long on, and there's a single run there for them. Again, a pretty comfortable single, 75-4-3. Kuhn was very much the passenger or the anchor at the other end as Nabby flailed the ball to all parts of the oval. Very deep into the crowd in the oval as well on Tuesday night, but this is a different pitch. Kettle of fish for illegal bowling as well. As Souter, again, does that just hit the pad as it goes down the leg side? Abagul, yes, he's signalling this time. There's a leg by then. One more to the total, 76-3.
Yeah, it's not quite the hard, fast flowing pitch that you have for batsmen here at Lords. But it looks as though it's got a bit in it for both.
Souter last ball, the 10th over. Again, trying to make himself room. Doesn't really come onto the bat though. Ends up trying to cut it away there. Roland Jones throws it into the wicket-keeper's end, but just a single for Kent there. Just running aground a little bit with these two, but they have to rebuild after 2 wickets in 4 balls. Robinson going caught, Roland Jones bowled Finn for 7, Beltran caught, Eskenazi bowled Finn for 25 in the previous over. So through 10 overs then, Kent. It's just disappeared off the scoreboard, hasn't it? 78 they are for... Is that right?
78 for 3, yeah. Oh,
thank you very much.
I should have informed you of this. There is a new installation below the scorer's box, below Old Father's Time, where they've got the old-fashioned scoreboard now.
Just caught it.
Which is a great help on a night like this, because of course that big screen is mainly a replay and a screen for the fans. As Finn charges away the 11th over from the nursery end, he bowls, and that goes past the edge. Couldn't look to run, but through to the gloves of Simpson. England 3 without loss. Australia 284 all out. On day 1 of the test, they're still going there at 7 o'clock. That'll make the media centre grumpy, won't it?
Why can't they get to the ropes?
They could have been here on Sports Extra for commentary already, couldn't they?
That's more fun.
The de Villiers show.
Moving.
Yeah. It's been gentle so far. It's funny as his spin. He comes in, bowls, and onto the hip, a leg by. He's thought about to point, and Kuhn was looking to be rapid between the wickets, but Nabby was having none of it, just as he pointed out. Matt, he was sent back, and no the call.
Call him the president of the Afghan supporters, Nabby.
Because he calls all the shots.
The president of, maybe so.
Yeah.
Like that. He doesn't do a quick leg by, though, that's for sure, from the non-striker anyway.
He calls all the runs. 78 for 3.